Today we are going to learn about graphs. Describing graphs. ඔයාලගේ O-level paper එකේ test 14 වල එන එක කොටසක් තමයි graphs. So we'll have a look at them. There are some types of graphs. Bar graphs, line graphs, pie charts are some of them. Those are the main types you get for an exam, but for O-level exam, you will mainly get bar graphs or pie charts. Today we are going to discuss about bar graphs. Before discussing about how to describe a bar graph, let's have a look at the parts of a bar graph. Those are the axes and those are the bars. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and here you have to write the title of the graph. Then you have to label x-axis, you have to label y-axis, and you have to mark the z. And in the y-axis there is a scale. ඇයි අපි මෙහෙම scale එකක් දාන්නේ? අපි මේ y-axis එකේ තමයි number of students, percentage of students වගේ දේවල් දාන්නේ. ඒක නිසා අපිට scale එකක් ඕන. For x-axis, different types of hobbies, the subjects you prefer, or the after-school activities you do, like that. X-axis එකට අපි කියනවා තව නමක් horizontal axis. Y-axis එකට කියනවා vertical axis. This is simply a bar graph, but there are some instances where you can find two categories. There you have to use a key, otherwise you don't know what they are. Now we are going to describe the graph. In describing graphs, there are mainly three parts: the introduction, the detailed description, and the conclusion. Now we'll have a look one by one. In introduction, you have to write mainly two parts: beginning and the data given. In the beginning, you have to write a small introduction about the graph. අපි අර picture description පටන් ගන්න විදිහ තියෙනවනේ වගේ graphs describe කරන්න ඕන වෙලාවට අපි කියනවා this bar graph shows. This is a bar graph about. අනේ විදිහට තමයි පටන් ගන්න. That is the beginning of your description. Then you have to write the data given. අපිට graph එකක් දෙනකොටම යාලා දෙන data ටිකක් තියෙනවා. අපි ඒව තමයි ලියන්න යන්නේ. But there you have to use similar words other than using the same words they have given. That means you have to write this in your own words. The x-axis shows කියලා ඔයාලට ලියන්න පුළුවන් x-axis එකේ label එක එතන. The y-axis shows, then you can write the label of the y-axis there. In the detailed description, also there are two parts. What can you see? Then you have to compare and contrast. අපි මේ graph එක තව කාට හරි විස්තර කරනවා විදියට තමයි කියන්න ඕනේ. ඒකෙදි අපිට include කරන්න පුළුවන් numbers, percentages, differences and similarity. Then you have to compare. That is the most important part. You can take the bars one by one and you can compare and contrast them. Compare කරනවා කියන්නේ සංසන්දනය කරනවා කියන එක. ඒකෙදි අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා comparatives and superlatives. ඔයාලට මතක නැත්නම් මොනවද comparatives කියන්නේ කියලා? අපි අර er කියන කොටස අගට දාලා හරි more කියන කොටස ඉස්සරහට දාලා හරි adjective එකක් ලියනකොට ඒවා comparatives. In comparing two things, we can use comparatives. Now, superlatives. අගට est දාලා නැත්නම් ඉස්සරහට most දාලා adjective එක අපි ලියන වෙලාවට ඒව තමයි superlatives. To compare more than two things, you can use superlatives. They are very important, so you have to remember them well. Then the conclusion. conclude with one sentence. එතන තියෙන most important දේ අපි අන්තිමට ලියනවා කෙටියෙන්. ඒකට තමයි conclusion එක කියලා කියන්නේ. According to this graph මේ graph එකට අනුව we can realize from this graph මේ graph එකෙන් අපට පෙනී යන්නේ. එහෙම කියලා මෙතන තියෙන main idea එක අපි sum up කරලා කියන එකට තමයි conclusion එක කියන්නේ. Then we can look at an example. Look at this graph. The following bar chart shows the after-school activities of grade 11 students of your school. Study the bar chart and write a description about it using the words given in the box. Use about 100 words. They will give you the word limit and the list of words. By giving you the list of words, they are expecting you to write meaningful and correct sentences using these words. They are going to give you marks that way. මං කිව්වා number of students දෙන්න පුළුවන්, percentage of students දෙන්න පුළුවන්. මෙතන අපිට දීලා තියෙන percentage of students. We'll see. This bar graph shows the after school activities of grade 11 students of ours. එයාලා your school දීලා තිබුණාට අපි ලියන්නේ our school. The x-axis shows the after school activities and the y-axis shows the percentage of students. And also you can write there are 5 after school activities mentioned in the graph. They are cricket, tennis, football, volleyball and rugby. එහෙම ලියලා ඔයාලට word count එක වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Then the highest percentage of students prefer cricket as their after school activity and it is 30%. ඔන්න අපි පළවෙනි word එක use කරා. ළමයි වැඩිපුරම කරන game එක අපි ලියුවා. The lowest percentage of students prefer tennis as their after school activity and it is 5%. අපි මුලින් කිව්වා මොකක්ද කියලා, ඊට පස්සේ අපි ඒකේ percentage එකත් කිව්වා. ඊළඟට අපි බලමු an equal percentage of students play volleyball and rugby. Equal percentage සමාන ප්‍රතිශතයක් volleyball and rugby වලට කැමති. It is 15%. The percentage of students who play football is higher than that. Higher than කියන්නේ ඊට වඩා වැඩි කියන එක. මේ දෙක සමානයි, ඊට වඩා football වලට වැඩි. The percentage of students who play tennis is lower than that. ඒ ප්‍රමාණයට වඩා අඩුයි tennis play කරන්න කැමති ගාන. So here you can see the conclusion. According to this graph, the most popular after school activity is cricket and the least popular after school activity is tennis among the students. ළමයි අතරේ වැඩිපුරම කැමැත්ත තියෙන cricket වලට ඊළඟට tennis වලට. after school activity එකක් විදියට ගත්තම. ඒක තමයි අපි දෙන conclusion. So we have used all the words they have given and written a description about this graph. Then I have given you a homework. අර තිබුණු graph එකම තමයි. ඒ වුණාට here you can see the number of students. අතන තියෙන percentage of students නේ. ඔයාට ඒව මාරු කරලා ලියන්න පුළුවන්. You can use these words to write a good description about this graph. Refer to this one and you can get an idea there. Then you can do this one. Okay, that's all for today. Let's learn about pie charts on the other day. Till then, have a nice day.